first of all, congrats on this. Thank you for letting us have some horror, some switching of the two of you, and also some comedy so that we could get some laughs in there because, again, 2020, we definitely need it. Vince, how did you get the mannerisms down? Did you guys meet prior to filming this? Did you just watch and study, or you just went for it?
Yeah, we definitely each were building the characters on our own, and then it was so fun to work with Kathryn on it because she had such good ideas. We just had a good time in the rehearsal process of talking about how we saw the characters and working both on emotional stuff and physicality, and it was a blast.
Kathryn, did he get your run down?
He killed my run. I was so impressed by that run in particular, and we worked a lot on it. You know, first we had to determine the run, and then he had to get the run. But clearly it was the key to success, and I don't think anyone could have done it any better. It's probably my favorite part of the movie is the hands. And it made me realize how much I talk with my hands. It's like, oh, do I really do that? I guess I do. But
you're self-conscious now. You're like, hold on, wait a minute.
Sure.
Watching Vince Vaughn, the Vince Vaughn, you've seen everything he's done, obviously. You're there and you're switching places throughout this whole thing. What was it about him that you noticed and you learned about him that you didn't think you would?
Well, I definitely learned quickly that I could not be Vince Vaughn. You know, if there's only one, and it would have been too tough. So I learned quickly that I had to really help, like we had to create this character, the Butcher. And so quickly we talked about the physicality, and he helped me so much with determining like, how would you walk? How would you move? And so all of those things, when we found that foundation, then on the day you can kind of do whatever you wanted. And I feel like my best scenes were with Vince because he's so funny. And, you know, just if he starts rolling, you just want to go too. And so then everyone's just riding on that and like improvising and having a great time. And that's, I think, how you get magic. And I feel like without that, it would have been a completely different movie. So on the day, you just went for it. And I just had to use that chainsaw and just kill him.
Were there moments where obviously you can just riff and you can take on a role and just get into it? Were there moments where you, though, were just like, I can't do this. This is too much for, like, you just broke character?
We laughed a lot. I mean, Kathryn's very funny, and there was times we were doing fight scenes and giving each other ideas, and then we would start laughing. You know, she made me laugh a lot.
Just outrageous.
You know, there was a lot of physical stuff and fighting that we had to do.
Yeah.
As well. So it was exciting because every day was different. Some days you're kind of menacing and killing someone, and the next day you're kind of stressed out. It was a blast.
It just blew me away, like watching him be Millie when I was in the scenes with him. You can't help but I'm sitting in that chair, like looking at him, and he's like, Booker, look at me. I'm just dying. Like he's just doing me so well. He's like, it's just, he killed it. It's just hilarious to watch. It really is.
I just remember too, like having that scene where I had to recite kind of the poem to remind someone who I was, and then you were so mean and cruel. Or like so overly just like take someone's heart out and show it to them mean. Like,
yeah.
I remember being in that scene and doing it, then you just mocked me and were so kind of unempathetic with it. It was terrific.
I got it.
You forgot you were on set. You're like, hold on, wait a minute. What are you saying over there?
I was having a moment, and then this so-and-so over here, Kate Newton.
Vince, I love the scene. I don't want to give away too much, but we could talk about it without mentioning it. We'll block this part out. You in the back seat. How was that improvised, or was that in the script? How did we decide where he said, I'm going to get back? Can I get back there with you?
You know, what's funny is the screenplay with Chris Landon, who's a terrific director, wrote with Michael Kennedy, who's also terrific, really had a great lead up. I think we can all relate in high school, you know, being attracted to someone and not having a lot of self-value and you know, having a moment of connection. So it's all those great feelings where you're both kind of excited and you're also really nervous. And I think what ended up happening, what you see in the movie is one take, it's one setup. There's no cuts in it. And I think, you know, most of it was scripted. There was some just listening and improvisation that happened. But I think what you see is in the movie is the very first take from start to finish. It's all one shot. And that actor who was in the scene with me, he's a terrific actor and was just really, really great in that scene.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. And you forget that you're you in this moment, you know, like it's two guys, you just forget what's happening and you realize, okay, yeah, I remember that in high school when I was just crushing on someone so hard, nothing else mattered. Um, Now listen again, Kathryn, working alongside of him, the crazy part, you guys switching roles, you've seen most of his work, if not all of his work that he's done. Do you have a favorite film of his? And did you ever think of that character while you were next to him?
Oh, that's too tough. I mean, Vince, you have so many great movies, but I think one of my favorites is Swingers. I don't know if it's just like the energy of you with all of the cast, but that movie is just iconic to me. I don't know. I love that movie. And when I watched that movie, that's what I realized. Yeah, I'm not going to imitate Vince. It's never going to work.
What is the restaurant again that's out? Is it Silver Lake area that you guys are in Swingers? What restaurant is that? Because I can't remember the name now.
The old one, the diner was the 101 Cafe.
That was 101, right? On Hollywood Boulevard?
Oh, yeah.
That was, yeah, I think it was right on the exit before the 101, and it was on Franklin, although it's switched ownership since then. But yeah, a lot of it was just shot practical in that neighborhood, in Los Feliz, where we lived.
So
Definitely one of my favorites as well, Swingers. And then another one, obviously, I know Vince, I can't leave this interview without asking you about it. You just had the 15th anniversary of Wedding Crashers. Goes down in history, such a great film. So many people crash weddings in real life. What do you remember about being on that set? And just
we had a lot of fun, and we just were kind of writing stuff, and the director David Dobkin's great, and Owen, obviously the whole cast was great. And you know, funny enough, we just recently talked more seriously about a sequel. There's a really good idea that David came up with, and we've actually been talking, you know, in a much more serious way about doing a second story with those same characters.
Okay, well, listen, my time is up. I thank you guys. I will be checking in for that Wedding Crashers, the new one coming out. Hopefully, let's keep our fingers crossed. Kathryn, thank you so much. You guys stay safe.